The assailant ended up using a hammer to smash Paul's skull. Thankfully, by the grace of God, Paul survived. After the assailant entered the home asking, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" Those are the very same words used by the mob when they stormed the United States Capitol. Democracy is under threat. They too see that democracy is on the ballot this year.
President Biden addressing the nation last night in what was billed by the White House as his final pitch to voters before the midterms. The president spoke at length about the threat he believes the ultra-MAGA Republicans pose to American democracy. Tom Cotton is a Republican U.S. Senator from the state of Arkansas, the author of the new book, Only the Strong, Reversing the Left's Plot to Sabotage American Power, and he joins us now. Senator, thanks so much for coming on National Report. You heard the president suggesting the GOP is a threat to democracy while attempting to link Republican rhetoric to the attack on Paul Pelosi. No mention of crime, inflation, or illegal immigration. What was your reaction to President Biden's speech?
Well, thanks for having me on to talk about Only the Strong. You know, Joe Biden and the Democrats talk a lot about threats to democracy. I think they're a little more worried about threats from democracy because the American people are going to deliver a harsh verdict on 2 years of Democratic control in Washington on Tuesday. I thought it was a rich irony that Joe Biden decided to speak from Washington, D.C.'s main train station. That's ground zero for homelessness in Washington. In fact, there's so much risk of crime in that train station that Starbucks famously had to close its store there. So now people getting on a train for their commute can't even get a cup of coffee because crime is out of control in Washington, D.C. and all around our country, to say nothing of the inflation that's making it harder for people to feed their families and fill up their tanks and to heat their homes and pay the rent and pay the bills, as well as our wide open southern border, which has contributed to this crime wave by allowing gang members and cartels to flood our country with deadly drugs like fentanyl. So the Democrats are more worried about threats from democracy because they know the American people are about to repudiate their ideological ambitions.
5 days to go until the midterms. We know there have been more than 20 million early votes cast. So people are coming out. They're getting involved in democracy as we speak. The Cook Political Report took a closer look at sort of where the House races are. They say 10 more blue districts move in GOP's direction. So now it could be a toss-up. It could be lean right. You have to dive into the specific districts there. But tell me about what you're watching for in the House and then, of course, the Senate as well. How many seats are you looking at specifically?
Well, I don't want to hazard a specific number to guess because I'll leave that to the pundits. But we're going to win the House and the Senate. It's going to be a comfortable margin. You look at what happened, for instance, in last night in New Hampshire. General Don Bolduc explained to Granite Staters why Maggie Hassan has been a rubber stamp for Joe Biden's radical agenda. Or look at our candidates surging in places like Pennsylvania, where Mehmet Oz has exposed John Fetterman as the most pro-criminal, soft-on-crime candidate in the country. We're looking at Washington State, where Tiffany Smiley is going to defeat failed 30-year career politician Patty Murray. Each one of these Democratic senators and candidates is nothing but a rubber stamp for Joe Biden and their radical ideological agenda. The agenda which I lay out in Only the Strong is not an accident. It's not like we got here by happenstance. The results you see in the country over the last 2 years is what the Democrats want. They're at best ambivalent about America. Therefore, they consistently undermine the sources of American power, like a prosperous growing economy and a strong military and sovereign borders.
So your book is set to come out at a time when you're anticipating the GOP to take back the House and the Senate. So based on what you've written and what you're looking ahead for, if Republicans were to take back power, what is the priority on the agenda? How might that, as your book, as you say, reverse the left's plot to sabotage American power?
Well, in Only the Strong, I don't just lay out this 100-year plot to undermine the sources of American power, but I offer the beginnings of a roadmap to reclaim power, return to a strong, confident, proud America. The first thing Republicans will do when we win back the majority is simply stop the madness. There won't be trillion-dollar spending bills anymore that contribute to this record inflation. We'll also hold the Biden administration accountable for its abuses, like when Attorney General Merrick Garland sicked the feds on parents protesting at school boards. But we need to go further than that as well. So, for instance, I think we need to try to address the Democrats' war on fossil fuels very early in the next Congress. Energy inflation is one of the worst kinds of inflation because it affects everything we do, from the food you eat to driving to and from work to goods being transported across the country on long-haul trucks. It affects everything we do. I think we need to take the shackles off America's coal miners and roughnecks and get back to producing energy here so we can once again be energy independent. Those are just a few of the things a new Republican majority will do when we went back to Congress next week.
All right, we'll be watching to see. A lot of things could change in January when the next term begins. Senator Tom Cotton, thanks so much. The author of Only the Strong. It is out now. It's on sale. You can pick up a copy where major books are sold. Appreciate your time today. Thank you so much, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
Let me decide.
Newsmax.
real news
For real people.